My name's Matt Smith. I'm the assurance practice leader at YHB. I've been here 18, 19 years now. Started in the production side of the firm, doing both audit and tax for the first 10 years. Uh, Ran from tax when I got the opportunity. Nothing against our tax colleagues and peers, but the assurance side of the house is where my passion always was. So about 2 years ago, got the opportunity to be appointed by the board to be our first assurance practice leader, overseeing the assurance strategy vision of the future. So where we've been in the last year, we worked towards that first 6 months following the December Digital CPA conference last year. We worked towards the implementation plan, the proven process with the Inflo team. We started to get more and more stakeholders internally involved in that conversation, started sliding in little messages during our monthly team meetings, our department meetings, about Inflo and just where we were at, gave them continuous updates on that process so they felt tied into it. And we kicked off. So with 630 engagements, our interim reviews for our public clients, and then our nonprofit team threw everything in. Now we are moving in. So we got through that, right? We found that by the end of that 630 season, the files started closing, the team hit their stride. Our first run of Q files went through the platform, and the team looked back and said, hey, that wasn't so bad after all, right? So now we are at the 1231 season. We're sitting here today, December 11th. So now we have the whole other tranche of our firm, our commercial team, our 1231 financial institution clients, our 1231 nonprofit clients. We're starting to gear all of those engagements up and all of those teams up. And we've essentially kind of gone through what we went through in May and June, July. Now we've kind of gone through that process again, but with much more efficiency and effectiveness because of what's been learned over the last 6 months using the platform. Now we're getting that whole other tranche of engagements and engagement teams up to speed on what to do, where we've perfected the process a bit, where we've created some of our own proprietary items around it. And we're about to launch on those 1231 engagements. And there's positive energy amongst the team. Outside of our employee benefit plan work and our SOC work, any financial statement audit review, compilation, financial statement prep, AUP engagement, effective 630, we have moved any of those engagements in. One of the unexpected benefits has been opening up the lines of communication where everyone has worked together to go through one of the biggest assurance transformations this firm's ever gone through, or our firm's ever gone through, definitely in my 20 years. Seeing the way that the teams have worked together has been really cool from my viewpoint. In terms of other benefits, from the system, small example is, I had a manager reach out to me and said, hey, Matt, can you do this FSR, this financial statement review? And I procrastinated like in true accountant fashion. And I was on a trip with the family where I was going to be on the road for 2 hours. And from my iPad, I was able to, hotspot in the car, iPad, bring up Inflo as a cloud-based platform, and actually reviewed the statement and the file right there, which is not something that we otherwise could have done with, having to sync files or backup files and have access to a local network. So that was really neat. The other benefit would be, in speaking with the teams, the flow of the file, right? That it walks you through planning and then walks you through the field work section and then the completion, just the way that it guides you through the audit process. I am a firm believer that in 3 years from now, 5 years from now, we will have some of the most technical and competent auditors that we've ever had within the firm. And that's coming from an assurance practice lead that grew up doing audits, right? I mean, I'm a firm believer that we should invest in our technology and invest in our people in a way that makes them better than we were. That means that we are continuously improving processes, continuously improving our people, continuously improving our quality, continuously improving our client service. And I think that a platform like Inflo is going to allow us to do that. So in terms of how Inflo has helped us compete in the market, I do firmly believe that will come in our next phase. However, some indicators that I believe play into that is how it has pushed a change in our team's thought and approach towards technology. And I think that with that, I firmly believe that with the technology transformation that that the globe is going through, that getting your people's mindsets changed is the first step. And Inflow has helped our people look at the way we do our work, the way we engage with tech forward platforms, the built-in data analytics modules. It's opened up their eyes, I believe, more to the adoption of AI and the use of other tools that we are starting to invest in as well as Inflow. So I think that that starts to create competitive edge. Why I can't yet have I don't have anything tangible that I can say, well, we were out on this $300,000 proposal, and because we use Inflow and these state-of-the-art platforms, we got the job. That's going to come. But the initial win that I have seen in terms of what's going to help us in the competitive market is a team with a mindset that leans into the technologies that we're investing in. That will give us a competitive edge. In terms of some lessons learned when adopting advanced technology, audit technology, Inflow, I would point to two lessons learned. The first one is involve the team in the process. We were lucky enough to have involved the team in the decision-making process when we were evaluating the different platforms in the market. We then rolled some members of that team and new members into a pilot testing program. And as we sit today, we have an internal Inflow champions group. And again, it's created this culture of collaboration, and they're working together in ways that we never thought they would. The other lesson learned is aligning yourself with vendors, suppliers, partners is truly how I look at Inflow as a partner. That's how you all have treated YHB. But making sure that we're aligning with vendors that show a true care and concern for our business. Nothing's ever perfect. There's been bumps along the way. But the one thing that I will continue to point back to is those bumps and hurdles are a lot easier to overcome. They're a lot easier to sit down and talk to the teams with who are in the trenches doing the work, the blood, sweat, and tears. It's a lot easier to talk through some of that anxiety and fatigue and the strain that major transformations creates when you know you're working with a partner who genuinely cares and is going to continue to invest in moving the platform forward and is listening to their client base to continue to make those advancements, roadmap items, and execute in a big way on those items. So those are probably my two lessons. So again, involving the team and then making sure you engage with the right partner, the right vendor. In terms of the level of support and the way that we engage with the Inflow team, that's been great. Whether it's been the implementation teams, the solutions team, methodology team, our customer success rep, even the executive team, it's been fantastic. Inflow has been so gracious over the past year with pulling together the right people from the Inflow side to meet with the right people from the YHB side to collaborate and talk through items. And some of it's not always problems, right? It's also been Inflow coming to us and saying, hey, we see that you guys are willing to engage with us. Will you take a look at these new practice aids we're pulling together? Will you be one of our new beta testers on this methodology management aspect of the platform? And YHB has always said yes. And I think that's what helps foster that continuous, collaborative, really engaging partnership type relationship with Inflow and their team. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the team continues to engage in the different modules. Detect, explore, the revenue cascade, these other incredibly fascinating modules that we do believe have the opportunity to completely change the way that we audit, to be able to lean into those modules in a way that helps us significantly reduce the substantive test of details, right? The other one that I'm looking forward to is seeing the different types of integrations that Inflo continues to invest in themselves or align with other vendors in the market. One thing that I think is very glaring in today's world with the technological, the technology transformation is making sure, if Inflo is our tier one platform, right? And we need to go to market for another unique vendor out there, tech vendor out there for audit. One of the first things I'm going to be looking at is how do they integrate with Inflo? How does it integrate with our tier one platform, our Inflo platform? In terms of advice to other firms that are starting their digital transformation journey, whether it be advanced audit technology or some other technology, number one, involve the team. Could not think of a more critical piece of advice than making sure that you involve the team, not just leadership, every step of the way. The second one is don't be afraid to make a decision. Um, Being paralyzed by the unknown does not move the needle forward. And then the third piece is embrace the emotional swings that come with it, right? Embrace the fact that nothing this major is ever going to be perfect, right? But in those little areas of imperfection, it's an opportunity for growth. And that is one thing that I could at least say that has been very exciting and encouraging over the last year is as we've hit those little, those valley of despair moments or those um, um, areas where we've run into a bump in the road is we've engaged in conversation both internally, we've collaborated with Inflow, we've collaborated cross-departmental with our teams, and in almost every single one of those situations, we unlocked opportunity, we unlocked something that we hadn't known before, and when you approach a major transformation like that with that mindset of, it's not going to be perfect, but in those imperfections, we are going to work together and it will present opportunities. It's gone, I would say, better than expected.